All right, good. All right. We're up to 10 years now. Eduardo Camarillo. Not here? Okay. Sal Dispenseri. There he is, 10 years. Hey, Sal, how you doing? Ladies, man, for 10 years. Who, Vincent's not here? No. Okay. I'll tell you what. You see him? Yeah. There you go, right there. By the way, Vin did this area also. Yes, sir. All right. Scott Mulford. He's out ill. Okay, 10 years. Robin, not getting away with it. Robin Seif, 10 years. Matt, you want to give it to her? Gee, you sure?
No, he doesn't want to be near him. Trust me, I found that out by visiting.
Sit here. Turn around. Uh-oh. Captain Falk on the job. There you go. All right. Mary Toole. Mary, you here? Okay, 10 years. Dylan Wyatt. All right, Dylan, 10 years. No. Yeah, right? Dylan, congratulations. Right, there you go. All right. Congratulations. Karen Wick. There she is. And you've been doing all. I know it feels like 30 years, but congratulations on 15 years. All right, Tom Falk. 20 years.
Is he a rookie?
20 years. Seems like just yesterday. All right.
Oh, I better be careful next time I visit. I can never leave the police headquarters.
Congratulations. All right, and last but not least, out of retirement, right? Craig Kaminsky, 30 years.
That beer past the mustard.
Congratulations.
You gotta get that.
30 years. Very much appreciate it. Right? How's retirement treat? Awesome. Awesome. 10 years younger already. You look it. That's what helped. Just so you know, guys, this is something that we hope continues. I think it's important that we recognize our employees. We do have a good group here. I mean, if you guys look around and if you're out and about, even with the storm that we just had, let me tell you something. Middlesex does it right. We're well above and well past what a lot of these other boroughs have in terms of getting things done around here. You call, they'll take care of it, and we appreciate everything that you guys do. Congratulations. Okay, let's move on to appointments, please. If you guys are going to sneak out, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, you got to stay for the whole thing. Let's wait for Matt to get back.
See you, Karen.
All right.
What are you doing?
Good night, guys.
Throwing them out so they're on time to work? Throwing them out so they get to work on time? Why, would they work 2-3 hours this week? Yeah.
Okay. Ready, Chief?
Yes, sir.
All right. Appointments, please.
Accepting the resignation of Sean Johnson from the Shade Tree Commission.
Okay.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one.
Appointing Nicole Arajo to the Recreation Committee.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. No proclamations, no ordinance for introduction, no public hearing tonight. All right, approval of minutes.
Approval of December 16th, 2025, regular and executive meeting minutes.
Motion?
Motion. Second.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any abstentions?
Yeah,
We have two.
abstain. Yeah, abstain, please, because I wasn't here then.
All right, very good.
Wasn't. I wasn't.
All right,
We're here, though.
you got it. That's the way it works. You're doing fine. All right, adoption of minutes. Next one.
Approval of the January 6th, 2026 reorganization meeting minutes.
All right, motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, there you go. Perfect. All right. All right, let's start with the mayor's report tonight. I got a few things here. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the DPW, the OEM, and everybody else that got involved with the recent snow event. Proper planning. I see we had brine down. There is no salt shortage in Middlesex. We're proper planning. Okay. Some of the things that we've been busy on is that we're doing a lot of work right now for affordable housing. It seems that this is their big item to get done right now, and it is a big item, and there's a lot of work involved with getting this up and running. It's a little disappointing on my part because for February 15th, we have to go through all this rigmarole to get it done, and it's going to require some ordinances and hiring people, and we have that well in process. However, and everyone's willing to step up to see how we're going to do it and how we're going to get it done. Yet at the same time, when we're looking for some help with the health care because they jacked it up 53%, well, we have to wait. We don't have time for that right now. Just my own 2 cents on that one. I'd like to welcome the 2 new councilwomen. You had a nice orientation, Kelsey. I heard it was awesome. Great job. Thank you. Okay. One of the other things that I have there is that I saw a letter of accomplishments from the Environmental Commission. You guys were busy last year, and it was, I think, are you going to post it on the website? The letter from Claire with all the things that they did last year?
If I receive it.
I thought I sent it to you. No? I got to check. It's probably out there in cyberspace. I'll check it. Okay, I'll make sure you have it because I think it's something it's important to put up there. I think it's an excellent selling tool for all the things that you've done. Okay. One of the other things is that there's been a couple of, I guess at the school meeting on the class 3s, I just want to let you know from my standpoint, this has been one of our highlights and one of the things that we've been trying to get going for probably about 18 months now. There were some comments made at the last meeting. I asked our attorney, Chris, can you run us through it?
Sure. I appreciate that, Mayor. This has been something that we've started working on, Chief Geist and I, and the Mayor and others, beginning in the summer of 2024. I'm going to try to correct the timeline and correct some of the statements that might have been made. But I'm going to start in September of this year and take you through kind of the borough's process in getting to where we are now. And the agreement is on tonight, the agenda for approval. So on September 4th of last year, 2025, all these dates are 2025 except for the end. The superintendent of Middlesex Borough Board of Education provided certain specific requests for the agreement. The agreement had been in existence for about 9 months at this point. We've gone back and forth on it. Certain requests and amendments for the agreement, including a proposed schedule of payments to be paid for the Class 3 services, the officer services. That was emailed to us on September 4th. Chief Geist replied immediately and requested a meeting to occur between the players, including the attorneys. That meeting didn't occur, but we were able to proceed with what the superintendent gave us on September 4th. On October 8th of last year, I, the borough attorney, transmitted the agreement with revised changes based on the superintendent's email on September 4th. That agreement contained language incorporating her proposals as best we could with regards to the payment chart as I say, as best we could, because that chart had to be converted into legal language, which I did, reflecting what she had put in a schedule of payments to be done over a period of months. This draft also included a phased prorated payment scheme to be provided to the district so that they could be more flexible in terms of their payments. If less than 3 Class 3 officers were hired, let's say that 1 was hired, they would pay about a third of the payment until Chief was able to amp up to full complement of 3. I, at that point, this is again on October 8th of last year, requested that the school board attorney provide his red line comments. Those are the words that I use, red line comments. Any changes he might have directly in the document, provide that document back to me so we could discuss it, both with the chief, the governing body, if necessary. On October 22nd, the board attorney wrote me back with language updates concerning the training clause only, and transmitted. I transmitted then an updated agreement to him at that time, and I requested at that time any additional feedback he may have regarding the agreement. The changes at that time were made to the payment schedule, and those changes were mostly static in that set of changes. I didn't receive any more feedback from the school board until November 17th of last year, and the October 22nd agreement is the last time the agreement was substantively changed. It's also the last time anyone requested substantive changes to the agreement. On November 11th, as I said, the school board attorney requested further consultation on the initial payment issue, the payment to be made up front to get the program started. I confirmed my availability to speak to him on 2 separate dates, the 20th and the 25th of November. On the 2nd of December, the school board attorney informed me that the superintendent would prefer to reach out directly to Chief Geist, which did occur. That is the last time I received any comments or inquiries from the school board attorney. I have not heard from my counterpart since the 2nd of December. On the 11th of December of last year, in an email to Chief Geist I was not included on, the superintendent recirculated her September 4th email that had the payment schedule. And that email didn't contain any new information or new requests. And we had obviously already incorporated this data in this information on the first draft of the agreement that was submitted on the 8th of October. The superintendent does not reference having ever reviewed this agreement. I had obviously requested red line changes to the text on October 8th, and I had requested any further feedback be provided on October 22nd. We were on top of this all along, trying to get the school board to give us feedback as to what they would prefer if they did not prefer the language that we had submitted in October. And on fast forward a bit here to this year, obviously the mayor, chief, and now in his role as administrator, interim administrator, and this governing body is very desirous to bring this program on board for the betterment of the community, for the safety of the students. Had me at that time reach out again. This is before the last school board meeting on the 12th of January, essentially saying, where are we with this? What are the issues here? This language has been out there since October 22nd in its final form, really October 8th in its substantive form. What changes do you have? What questions do you have? I have not received a reply to that email of January 12th of this year, but I guess we did receive a reply because at the Board of Education's meeting on January 21st, the superintendent made certain statements, which regrettably most of which seem to be inaccurate. I take these statements as they were provided to me by borough representatives, but as they were written in Mr. Polikavich's article. I think it's important to take some of those statements one at a time. So the superintendent at this meeting claimed that the Board of Education received an agreement from the borough in early December. The agreement may have been recirculated at that time, but the last substantive changes to this agreement were transmitted to the Board of Education on October 22nd. These are demonstrable facts. There's also some claim that the payment schedule needed adjustments. I believe that was the word she used, adjustment. I have been begging for adjustments for adjustments to the language, if any were needed, since October 8th. I did it again on October 22nd, on November 17th, on the 12th of January. I have never received any feedback on this beyond the September 4th email and the recitation of that email on December 11th. She makes a statement: the calculations come out correctly, but the wording is not correct. I'm not sure what she means by that. We've never received any alternative wording, and if the calculations are correct, the change in the wording should be simple. I have submitted this agreement on several occasions to my counterpart on the Board of Education and never received any substantive changes to the clauses that concern payment. The superintendent raised issues concerning the responsibility for the equipment, that is the uniforms and any other ancillary equipment, presumably firearms. That language has been clear in the agreement since the 10th of October, pardon me, 8th of October. I have not received any further feedback from the school board on this, and I think if you read the agreement's out there for everyone to read because it's on the agenda tonight, you can see the language is clear. If there had been any ambiguity, we would have happily made the change. The superintendent also claims that the borough was still working on the agreement and that the school board was, quote, not in the mix. As you can see, 1 week prior, I had submitted, this was on the 12th, the meeting was on the 21st of January. On the 12th of January, I had submitted to the borough attorney our final agreement indicating that the agreement would be put on the agenda tonight because we've never received any feedback. We assumed that there was a meeting of the minds on the agreement and we would be proffering that agreement for the governing body to consider tonight. I have never received a reply to this email. That's 2 weeks ago. And there was a school board meeting in between. Here are some facts just to sum it up. The borough has made every change that the school board has asked for, and the draft agreement was substantively complete on October 22nd of last year. The borough requested feedback from the school board on the 22nd of October, the 17th of November, and again on the 12th of January this year. We have received nothing except the email retransmitted from September again in December. It's substantively the same email. It's exactly the same email. Just read forward. The borough's responsibility as to equipment is found plainly written in Clause 11 of the agreement and has been crystal clear since the 22nd of October of last year. You can read it. It's in the agenda tonight. The superintendent's payment structure has been incorporated into the agreement again since the 22nd of October. You can find that in clauses 3 through 6 of the agreement. I made request after request for changes to this, if any existed. You already know the dates. I've already read them. I have never received any. Beyond minor language concerning training obligations, the school board has never really given me any substantive language feedbacks since we recommenced negotiations starting in September. I've never received a red line copy of the agreement in return, though I have requested it multiple times. I think it's the idea that the ball is in the borough's court here. I think it is a false one. I think that we've been up to speed on this from day one. Every member of this governing body, the mayor, certainly the chief of police, who now doubles as the interim administrator, has been desirous to get this agreement into place. We are taking the most extreme step we can tonight. We are looking for approval of the agreement as written, and we challenge the school board to do the same and pass this for the safety and betterment of our community. And I'm happy to take whatever questions the governing body or members of the public have.
Okay, at this point, usually we wait till the until the public discussion part, but if anyone has any questions for Chris right now regarding the Class 3s, anybody? Well, yeah, please come to the mic though, because this way it gets recorded.
Shit, but he slipped because you didn't plow a street, man.
I'll give him my card.
His forecast was wrong again?
Weather-related surgery.
So it sounds to me that there's a lot of emails going on. This was going on before the 24th, if I'm correct. That there was discussion.
24th of.
No, 2024.
Which talked
Yeah, we
about.
commenced negotiation. I didn't want to give you. I mean, I went on for a long time as it was, right? The mayor and the chief first brought this to my attention in the summer of 2024. I have experience with Class 3 officers in my other towns, so I took the initial draft, which batted back and forth throughout the 2024 and 2025 school year. I chose to give you just because it's relevant to this time period. For the 2025-2026 school year, the timeline starts in September, but we have been going on for about a year.
Was that with the same superintendent that we have now?
I don't know. I guess so.
Yeah.
The mayor, the chief,
Yeah.
or council president Conhan. I
Yes.
believe so.
Yes.
It sounds to me.
You know, upstairs.
Yeah, well, it's the same superintendent.
That's what I was thinking. All right. So this is going on prior to September 2024, because the thought was that we were gonna have class 3 or at least one in 2025. And we had an issue, if I'm not correct, at the end of last year, there was someone walking around and he supposedly had a gun in his car. I thought, Chief, guys, you could maybe, I remember there was an issue, they had to do a drill. There was a question on the drill that happened, that there was a lockdown because someone was walking around on the property.
With the,
Okay, sorry. Mistake. But the point is, at some point in time, something's gonna happen. It sounds to me like there's a lot of ping pong going on with emails, and no one's picking up the phone and saying, we need to make this.
I think the Chief Geis has been on the horn quite a bit on this. Bruce, to use your analogy, I think there's been a lot of ping here and not much pong.
Okay, so the question
There
is.
you go.
But the question is, why can't this happen? I mean, we're just buying time for something to happen. And, I mean, this is, if it's part of stopping it, then let's get rid of the superintendent, period.
But then you're sitting at the wrong meeting.
I know, and trust me, I'll be more than happy to go up to her and say this needs to happen.
At this point, for my 2 cents, this is our final step. I wouldn't know, short of, once we sign this and send this over, short of them coming back with a very specific red-lined agreement where please change this to this, that, or the other thing, because we've basically bent on every single thing to get this done. You know, at that point, after this, frankly, I would hope that if we sign this tonight, which I can, my hope would be before the next meeting, we either have something back, a deposit on its way, or at that point, I would hope that the council would support a position where we say, guys, you're going to have to go get private security because we've done all that we can to accommodate them. That's my.
The safety of our kids in this town, this should be no-brainer. No-brainer.
Bruce, I can honestly tell you that from my standpoint, and I know I've said this to the chief as well as our attorney, it's not going to happen on our watch. We don't want us to be the delay. So we've been bouncing it back every single time as quick as we can.
So there have been phone calls directly to her.
The Chief has spoken.
All right, so, I mean, then we need to get the parents
Did-
to bombard the superintendent and say, get it done. Sign
Yeah,
it.
Bruce,
Bruce, this is it.
Yeah, I released emails tonight to Mr. Polakevich because it was his article that spurred my comments. I'm happy to release them to anyone. Where I essentially am pleading. I can't describe it any other way.
Is
Pleading
it
for.
money? I mean, is that, I mean, I'm sure if there's something.
We can't answer as to what the reason is on their side. I mean, basically at this point, it comes down to, do you want to do this or not? We can't force you to do it, but this whole thing started with the chief and a request for us to provide information as to what it would cost and what it would be for 5. Then it turned to 3. And then, this has been going on for a while, and at this point, I don't know what else to do after this. This is like our last step. And I know that these guys have been involved, except for the 2 ladies. Sorry. Well, you on the one side, but I mean, as far as our side, we've discussed this ad nauseum.
this might have been started, I think, Chief, you could attest to this. I remember sitting with the old superintendent in that room, 2020? 17? Starting to talk about this, and we walked out of there like, yeah. And it's been gone on deaf ears since then.
Well, the reason why I'm so I was in those schools for 10 years, and I know that stuff can happen.
Couldn't graduate?
And it,
Couldn't graduate?
But the point is this stuff can happen, and it's gonna happen quick, and then everybody's gonna just go like this with the big point.
Bruce, I totally empathize with what you're feeling, and I can tell you that on our side, I would never want that on my head. I sleep very well at night knowing that I did everything that I possibly can at this point. And these guys too.
To announce to everybody in Video Land, when is the superintendent's next meeting?
219.
219.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Gotta wait, Dave.
More time to see where I'm at. I've been back and forth at the meetings regarding this issue. So I have one question about the resolution for tonight. So I read online that this is for 3 class 2 officers when originally it was 5. Is that your choice or their choice?
Their choice. It was always, and I don't want to speak for the chief, it was always our intention or his belief that to properly do this, you would need 5 to be able to cover everything. But, you know, we said, all right, 3 as a starting point. I think that may have, and to be fair to the schools, I think they would eventually work their way up to 5, but I think it's unrealistic to figure that if you say today, we want 5 people that the chief's going to be able to find. 5 people, get them in there in 4 minutes. It's not going to be that easy. So they figured that they would probably only be able to get 3 within, I guess, a 1 year span. Probably, you know, that figuring it would be added to as it went. And I believe the language in the agreement, if I have it right, does anticipate adding.
Well, it phases it in over time. Yeah.
So let me ask this question, so I'm not going to issue on my phone. So, Matt, could you get 5 people? Or is
I've never tapped the market for class 3 specials. I can tell you, we just brought on board a new police officer in Middlesex. We've been looking since last November. So it was the process. This is more retired police officers, so I'm sure there's a pool. We just have to locate and find and train.
okay, I understand. I don't have any children or grandchildren in the school system. But if I'm a parent and his was in school, like, I'm sorry, we're not giving them the class 2 officer, but watch on school days. I'm going to be pretty upset about that. So I think that I don't know if I can really understand. So I went back and I made a copy, which I'll give to you. I'm going to go with my resolution with this. It says Middlesex adding armed officers to schools to monitor laws. This was back in September. This was on the news 12. And the first paragraph I want to read: the Middlesex Borough School District has decided to add armed officers to its schools in the coming school year. And it says the plan is to hire and train 5 officers with the district's 5 school buildings. So, again,
I understand. We can only we have responded to what they've requested from
I
us.
understand and I appreciate all that you're trying to do. So, I just have a question. Do attorneys ever, like, you say, somebody brought this up at a board meeting and said, why can't the attorney just meet face to face and decide whoever needs to be there and get this thing done instead of emails and phone calls and whatever, since it's such an issue?
As I read, multiple occasions I've said that I'd be ready to meet. Chief Geist has been an advocate for this meeting for 6 months. I meet with colleagues all the time. This is not my first class 3 agreement. What can I say? They know where to find me. I'm here. I want to get this done.
You know, and to be fair on both sides, you know, Chris Wood acts at the behest of the mayor and council, and their guy, their lawyer, works at the behest of the superintendent and their council. So, you know, if I sat there and said, Chris, don't do this, he's not going to do it.
That's a great point, Mayor. I mean, Mr. Schneider and I, who is the board's attorney, have chatted amicably many times about this. His I think law partner, is my opposite number in Bridgewater, so I work great. It's the Bush Law Firm. Work very well. I'm not singling out any colleague tonight, legal colleague. I think that Mr. Schneider, when asked about that, maybe he has been, you know, as responsive as he could be, as he was authorized to be. If you will.
So I know the money in the budget for this, it's just that it's built up. And my gut feeling is that hoping that you were just gonna say, forget about you, we're just gonna do it all.
Roberta would have to look at our financial situation to know that it's a virtual impossibility with the lack of state aid increases and everything else that we've received to be able to do that. And that's been on the table since day one. That's one of the main reasons that we have like a deposit here, just so we have the working capital to ensure that these officers will be in the building.
Listen, I would just ask, is there anything you wanted to say or do when I go to meetings or anything specific or?
Tell them to sign. Tell them to sign, send a deposit. We're ready. We'll be ready. I would never venture a guess as to what the reasoning is for it. I'm glad that Attorney Corsini came in here espousing facts. There's emails and he's got documentation to back up basically everything, and I believe you have them all. So you know what we know. They had, my understanding is that they had the money in the budget. Whether it's still there, I can't answer that. But the thing is, it was never a matter of an expectation as to who was going to pay. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, Dave, if you ask me if we were paying for it from day one back in 2023 when this thing came up, it's just, we can't do that. If they want this, they'll have to pay. We can do the uniforms, we can get them, the guns and equip, but we don't have the funds to do that. We just don't. We didn't then, and we certainly don't have it now.
Just to be clear, this is, I've covered I don't think I've ever seen a situation like this where there's tried to be a shared services agreement and one side has basically put their foot down and said, this is our law. And that's basically, that sounds like you got the feeling that we tried to work with you. This is what we think should go on. We tried to meet some of your concerns. Either agree to it or it's not going.
Well, I think in the big scheme of things, Dave, the majority of the proposal is right in line. No one ever came back on the other side saying it's a money thing, it's this, it's that. It's all been like terminology or whatever. It's like, I don't understand why a red line agreement just wouldn't be signed and be done. I mean, this is pretty ironclad at this point.
I really think, and all the fact, I gave a lengthy discourse on the facts here. I think it could be summed up very simply, Dave. I think that if there was, if the payment scheme was the sticking point for the superintendent, since the 10th of October, or 22nd of October of last year, she's had that language, right? She could have authorized anyone to redline it and correct it in a way. I tried to translate her September email into a contract clause. That clause has been in the world since 22nd of October, really the 8th of October. I would love to see some alternative language to that, if there is any. If not, they should sign the agreement that this governing body will consider tonight. That's the simplest way to put this, right? And I think that the implication that on the 21st of January that the ball is somehow on our court, that we've delayed, that sat on my desk, is false.
Anybody else on this topic? Okay. Well, that concludes the mayor's report. So, all right, let's go on. Council President.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. I want to congratulate our two new councilwomen. I couldn't do that last time at the reorg. Obviously, we didn't have reports, but I look forward to working with both you, Jen and Shannon. So welcome aboard. I'm here to help. On the Class 3 topic, I did want to thank that all that were involved, especially Chief Geist in his PD police capacity. He's worked in this for a while. Attorney Corsini has been on it since day one. And the big one is really the biggest catalyst is the mayor. He's really been able to, he's the driving force that has continually pushed that agreement forward where it is today. So thank you, Mayor. The Parks Improvement Committee was unable to meet earlier this month. Thank you, Joe, for going. They had a lack of quorum, but the reorganization meeting will be on March the 3rd at 7:30 in the community room because there wasn't, I think the February meeting, Joe, there just wasn't enough people that were going to be there. So the reorg will be March 3rd. I saw that Sean Johnson resigned from the Shade Tree. I wanted to thank him for volunteering. Claire, excellent annual report. I didn't respond. I did read it though. So nice job on the environmental commission report for 2025. Some public works updates. Obviously the public works entire team has been very, very busy. They've done a tremendous job. I think not only are they the best in the county, they're the best in the state. I had a good friend of mine I spoke to yesterday about a personal question for my father's place. HVAC guy said that he was in Piscataway in South Plainfield that Monday for work, and the roads are impassable. And most of our roads, if not all of them are passable. Most of them were, I mean, in my estimation, in that short amount of time by 6 a.m. on Monday were really, really good. And by Monday night, they were, I mean, they were great.
Mainly because like we have our own personal Alan Casper in Middlesex.
I know. And we got to put, we need a certificate for Bruce.
Me and him, he provides me hourly updates.
He's better than Dave Coran on News 12.
He is. I mean, I'm waiting to see him up there, you know. So yes.
A resident meteorologist.
That definitely hats off.
And there were 4 snow events. People don't know that. January 10th, 17th, 18th, and 25th. Obviously, was Sunday, the big one. 80 tons of salt for a small town. That's a ton, right? No pun intended. That's 10,000 gallons of brine were used, and 20,000 gallons of brine were made. In addition to all of that, 2 pickup trucks were down. Older trucks, a 99 and an 04 truck, were down. Doesn't help us. This time of the year, he's always done a great job. I didn't even know this until I took over as liaison for training. So the training is being done for the majority of the department in between these weather events because the winter is the slowest point of the year, and that's lockout, tagout, public works safety, and excavation training. So that's all.
More scheduled this week, next week, and the following week. So we're scheduled for the next month.
Good.
Live.
Good. Oh, they are. I thought
Yeah,
they were
they're
live.
with our insurance company that provides
Through the JIF.
MSI live.
Okay, and that saves us a lot of money on the JIF.
It does. It's pretty much an all-day event, you know. So we set up a community room and set it up there. But yeah.
Good one. The ADA ramps, he's repairing those on Howard and Fisher, and I know Fisher gets a lot of traffic from all the kids. New stop signs were installed all around the schools, if you haven't noticed that. And a lot of his guys, the road department, are fixing a lot of the signs. They'll probably have to fix more because of the snow. Some of them are. The lock splitter is down. I know the piston crack one. I know people depend on that firewood. Is that going to get fixed?
I mean, it cracked last time. We've had it for a while now, so I got a purchase order out. They're going to send me a new one. So it's roughly $1,000 fix. It happens because we use it a lot. So I should have it sometime next week.
Okay.
It's still a lot less expensive than having to pay to get rid of that wood.
You are correct.
Yeah, we used to get rid of firewood, and now we give it away for free. People love it. Christmas decorations were a huge hit. Thank you, Len. The holiday decorations, they're all put away in the annex. They're all stored at the annex building. And then, Lenny's, I know you guys are going to touch upon this, but if your property includes a sidewalk, make sure you shovel it. You got to clean it off. It's not just no parking in the street, which has been around, I think, in town, Mayor, since the 60s or the 50s. I mean, every town in America. But something else that's come up is the sidewalks, because a lot of times on even Route 28, some of our mains, Harris, Shepherd, when our guys plow, there's no room for the snow to go, so it goes up and onto the sidewalk. So you got to continue to keep that sidewalk clean. I know Lenny got some complaints today for people that just couldn't, mostly parents of kids that just couldn't walk. The sidewalks weren't clear. And I'll let Lenny get into that, but I know for the state on the highway on 28, it's a big deal. Like the state comes in, if there's sidewalks that aren't cleared, it's us. And they come after even if we have a lot of homes on 28. I hope to see sorry.
Just one
Yeah.
quick one too. As you know, a big one is the cars on the road, and I'll tell you why. It's not just the fact that the car's there, but if you're pushing 15 inches of snow, now it's the car plus 15 inches of snow, and if they go back 2 or 3 times, next thing you know, that one car is taking up half the road. And if you have a car on the other side that did the same thing, it's just a safety issue. That's the main reason why you need to have these things cleared. And I have to say, I know part of your report later is going to be talking about the amount of tickets that are given out and stuff like that. But we've been very proactive in this. And with the last storm, you could tell some of the towns have not been as proactive because Dunellen basically said, we're towing you, and so did Piscataway. We're towing you. They're not giving you a chance. They're just coming to hook you up and yank your car out of there because it's in the way. That's all I wanted to add on that.
Yeah, I know for a fact Dunellen towed this storm. There was no tickets. They just towed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors too, Mayor, too.
And we don't do that. So
when you park on the street, especially with a storm like this, once they move that vehicle, depending on the work, the weather, you're talking 10 degrees, that tile now, once you move your vehicle, it's frozen solid. So it's not as simple as me dropping the tile and moving it. I physically have to get a backhoe over there and, just to be able to move it. So yes, we are going around clearing out some of those intersections and mainly line of sight issues on 28 right now. We're coordinating with the police to get all the crosswalks and everything.
you'll see Lenny with backhoes over the next week, starting tomorrow.
We've been busy.
Well, hopefully you don't have to do it again.
Well, I'm sorry.
He's lugging the snow.
Well, hopefully
This Saturday,
Sunday. The Grim Reaper doesn't send me another message and tell me there's another.
We getting another one, Bruce?
And we haven't done this in a while, Len. He's actually bringing snow to Mountain View Park because there's nowhere to put it.
You are correct. Yes, we are moving.
If you go to back of the park, you'll see it piled up.
Yeah.
So it's been, and I think Matt's going to touch on it, but
Yes.
this storm, as far as the tickets, I know we're down. I can tell you my neighborhood wasn't a single car, not one single car, which I haven't seen in years. That was left out.
The entire state was a big problem for the last couple storms.
Not this
And
one.
I can tell you right now, I'm in constant communication with the police during these storms because I'm physically here. And we were good.
Yeah, we were good.
Parked on the front lawn, and yes.
But again, the Nixles and all the posts, I think they did its job.
We put it out there. Yeah, we as the borough.
New residents are catching on. I also have some stuff. Councilman Griggs couldn't be here. He asked that I share. I know Mark's here from the pool commission. He wanted to extend, or the pool commission, and Mark's the chair, wanted to extend its thanks for the payment arrangement that the pool is making. Yeah, Ken sent me a couple things here, Joe, but I'm not. It just says the pool is very thankful for the way things were explained by Carolyn. That's all he put. Yep. Yeah, I wish I could have been there. Yep. Told you, Mark, we were going to get that at some point. So thank
That was a win.
Thank you, Joe, for
Win
that.
for everybody.
And then from recreation, he got some things from our rec department. Save the date annual bunny hop, which is actually one of our
Save the bunny.
one of our biggest events. It's really, it used to be Mountain View. It's at the rec center. I'm sorry. March 28th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. There's always eggs, egg hunt, games. There's food. There's beverages, and then there's also the Easter Bunny. Registration for baseball and softball will be open on My Rec, which is our site, is next week. So those are big ones for us. Let's see, and then hopefully to see everybody at Coffee and the Cop. It's 2 weeks, and that's it, man.
Okay, very good. Councilwoman Clark.
So the Film Commission had their first reorganization meeting on the 22nd, and their next meeting will be on February 19th. So not a lot to report there. We had our admin meeting scheduled for Monday, but Lenny was tired from the snow. So
Got snowed out.
So we're gonna get together soon. We're gonna figure that out. Culture and Arts Committee had their craft swap, and that was a success. About 15 to 30 people attended, which I thought was pretty good, especially with the anticipation of the weather. They put out a sign-up sheet to see who would be interested in continuing with that committee, and they had about 7 people say they would want to come on and be part of that. So I thought that was good. Disabled and Senior Services, AARP Tax Prep is starting their free tax prep for seniors on February 5th. Appointments will be held in the rec center on Thursdays and Fridays by appointment. They're also going to be starting bingo size soon on February 3rd. It's an 8-week program that combines bingo and fall prevention. They meet Tuesdays and Fridays from 1 to 2. That's pretty much all that I have as far as that stuff goes. I do want to say congratulations to the legacy employees, and thank you for your dedication and all your work. One of my favorite quotes is actually Margaret Mead's, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So it's true, and we are who we are because of your work, and let's take that same energy to the Board of Education. Back to you, Jack.
All right, thank you. Okay. Councilman Joe DeSenza.
Well, most of the committees didn't meet because of the snow or the ice conditions. But we did meet with the pool commission last week, and it was an excellent meeting. I think everybody came away a little more informed. I want to specifically thank Carolyn and our auditor, Greg, for attending and laying it out the way it is. The pool is, we hope, on its way to financial stability. Just for everybody's information, resident membership for next year, if you do it early, it goes up $20, right? If you're non-resident, it goes up a lot more. It's still the best, I think, the best buy in the state. Most towns are charging double what we charge here. The new rate will be for family early $310. It's for a resident. Well, we're only talking residents.
Early pay, right? Is that the early pay?
That's the early bird, $310. It costs me, I have a little pool in my backyard. I think it costs me more for chemicals than that. So it's a great buy. Anybody interested, let's do it. We also brought to the attention that this year will be the 250th anniversary of the country, and we're asking some of our committee heads to sit down and try to put together some sort of a program to help celebrate the 250th anniversary. More news will be coming on later on. I have a little something I would like to have published in our next quarterly bulletin, and I'll read it.
Okay.
It's not very long. Volunteering keeps you young. Recent findings. Measured by mortality, immune function, and organ integrity, people who volunteer age less rapidly than those who don't. The strongest effect is seen in retirees, but also occurs in individuals who are still working. Volunteering at least 4 hours per week, 200 hours per year, shows the greatest anti-aging effects. But any amount of volunteering has its positive effect. Those who volunteer between 1 and 49 hours per year age more slowly than those who neither work nor volunteer. Researchers believe volunteering not only gives a sense of purpose, but also provides healthful physical activity. This is a study of about 20,000 people aged 51 and older by researchers at Brown School of Social Work, Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's published in Social Science Medicine magazine. So if we could put, I'd like to see that.
As long as it's not copyrighted.
I don't believe so, because this was in Bottom Line. So.
Oh.
And then lastly, I think I got everything. Is environmental. Want to again thank Claire for this great report for 2025. And she did receive an email today, or she spoke with Shasta from Solar Simplified about a community solar initiative being advanced by New Jersey BPU and Sustainable New Jersey that may be of interest to the borough. Program expands access to community solar for low and moderate income households through an automatic enrollment model. Solar Simplified would help identify eligible households, draft an addendum to the existing resolution, and develop clear multilingual mailers. Residents would receive notices 90 to 30 days prior to enrollment, explaining the benefits, confirming no upfront costs, and outlining a simple opt-out process. Participation is entirely voluntary. Do I have a consensus? Can I get a consensus of those that, if you want to proceed with this? It's no lose. I mean, it's win-win, similar to the other program we have.
Yeah, you just,
We have a consensus. Want to go ahead with it?
I'm good. They use the same agreement or they'll update it?
They'll
we'll
update.
update it, right?
Claire?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to send it to
Yeah.
Chris, Claire.
We have a consensus?
Yeah.
Claire? You got it. And
You
then
have a consensus. You got a few customers up here.
I think Lenny and the boys were outstanding. We had to go out Sunday night to bring the dog to the dog sitter in Bridgewater, and we got stuck halfway. Middlesex was no problem. 22 was no problem. We got into Bridgewater. We got stuck. I wound up walking a block and a half with the dog in a cage.
Did you?
Yeah, it was.
You should have called me. I would have come.
Would you take the Volkswagen?
Down and get you.
So, but Middlesex was great. Thank you.
Anything else, Joe? Okay, Mr. Doty,
I have all my reports for you.
let her rip.
Fire department, we'll start with them. I'll go over some calls. They have just 3 that they put down here that they highlighted. December 8th, there was a reported smoke condition at the library in the high school. They wound up going there and finding that there was a shorted out laptop charging cart in the library. The cart was unplugged, moved outside, all fire department personnel cleared. Everything was fine. December 10th, 17:05 hours, there was a structure fire located at Grove Avenue. Chief Bartok was the first one on there. He confirmed there was. He called in a full alarm for it. They managed to contain it to the 2nd floor. There was a dog in the room that they managed to get out. It also received oxygen and the dog is okay. They were there for almost 3 hours and then everything was under control. They contained it to the one room. And during that, one of the people that, a resident and one Borough firefighter were treated for smoke inhalation and transported to the hospital. Both of them are okay. The third thing they have is they were on standby on the 26th because due to icy conditions and the potential of 6 to 8 inches of snow, which we didn't get. So they were at the firehouses for approximately 3 hours. For the month of December, they had 52 total calls. Their calls for the year, because this was all for December, the calls for the year, they responded to 548 calls total. They had alarm system activations, 162. They had gas leaks, natural gas, 70 of those for the year. Motor vehicle accident with no injuries, 41. 44 with injuries. And the other one was they had 14 building fires. That was our fire department. Also, I wanted to let the new chief, Sean Young, know that I appreciate what they did. He said that they had 18 members on standby throughout the houses, so they had to go on one call during the storm and then one right afterwards. So they were in there, and they're, he puts standby guys there so that we have emergency services. And they had truck 18, which is the pickup. They had that on standby for them. So if they needed to clear real quick, or he could take the apparatus there. That was them. Let's go to police next. December, 1,800 calls, 18 adult arrests, 679 MV summonses, 36 radar, 41 motor vehicle crashes. The NIBRS crimes cleared, they had 3 for the month. So for the year of 2025, the police responded to 22,228 calls to service, 193 adult arrests, 3,990 motor vehicle summonses, 491 radar summonses, 372 motor vehicle crashes. They had 114 NIBRS crimes, and they had 38 of those were closed. And I'm sure they're working on the other ones, knowing your guys. So I don't got to really get into the detectives too much. 7th, coffee with a cop, 10 to 12. If I don't mention this, Jolene, I know will smack me. Please come out. It's at the Elks again. Come on out, have coffee. They have food for you, and you can meet with us. Yeah, it's a nice little event, and most of the council and the police department, fire department will be there. Come and support. Last thing is the court. Okay, new business, December. Final 2025 tally issued tickets, 4,022. 442 parking violations, 241 moving violations. They did 13 criminal complaints. There was 5 local ordinance violations, 46 zoning issued. Final 2025 tally issued 156 summonses, bringing in $20,177 so far from these cases deposed. That's just, I guess, the zoning. That's Matthew doing basically the second half of the year. December courts. They had 4 sessions, 2 in person, 2 virtual. 262 defendants, 406 cases were deposed of this month, 3 DWIs deposed, which they are the longest cases most of the time. Total monies collected was $40,648.56. The portion for the borough is $22,442.66. The court looks forward to 2026, and they're beginning with a DWI Blitz special session on Friday in February. Did you confirm the date with her?
Yes.
Okay, so they're doing just one just for DWIs. Myself, the chief, and Letty, we sat down with the court administrator, and they're going to start doing extra sessions to get caught up. Part of the huge backlog was the Supreme Court in the state of New Jersey on the breathalyzer machines. Everything was kind of put on hold. So there's cases, I'm sure, years old that they're still working on. And it was part of the backup to this whole thing. So they weren't trying them. That's why the DWI blitzes. But they're going to add an in-person on a Monday, correct, Matt? That's what they said? 1 so far? 1 extra one? We're going to see how it goes until June.
Yeah, in my report, we have, for the next 6 months, they're going to add additional dates.
Yep.
We have those dates already in our schedule, and that's going to be to address those back violations.
Do we know how many tickets were issued this past weekend?
I didn't get
Snow?
I do.
I don't get that report until
The administrative report will have it.
Okay.
Okay. That's basically all I have. I think everybody did a great job. Firemen, the police. I sent out an email to all of you guys. I
All right,
appreciate
so-
what you guys do.
Councilman Griggs is done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that. And Councilwoman Quinn.
Good evening, everyone. On January 8th, I met with the Shade Tree Commission for the reorganization meeting. James Bond was elected chairman. Jim Gorman was elected vice chairman. The next meeting is February 12th at 7 p.m. here in Borough Hall. Then on 1/15, I was at the Board of Health reorganization meeting. Robert Scher was elected as chairman. John Hillary was elected as vice chairman. Their next meeting is 2/12 right here at 6:30 at Borough Hall. And I'm looking forward to learning more about the Board of Health and the Shade Tree Commission as we move forward. Then for the Board of Education, their reorg meeting was held on 1/6 at 6 p.m. in the High School Media Center. Sharon Schuler was nominated for president and declined, stating she'd rather be vice president. Daniel Parenti was the sole nominee who accepted the nomination for president. Danielle won for the president. Sharon Schuler was nominated for vice president by Danielle and accepted the nomination. Tom Thornton was nominated by Martin Quinn for vice president, and the vote went 5-4 for Sharon to become vice president. That was the reorganization meeting. And then on 1/21 was the committee of the whole meeting. If you're interested in watching that meeting, the Board of Ed liaison to the council, my counterpart is Jeremiah Carnes, and he has posted the video online. As for the 1/22 regular board meeting, there was discussion for policy 0144 and how it was changed to new members will not receive onboarding/orientation until they are sworn in. This was another 5-4 vote for the first reading, sorry. I also had time to speak with the Board of Ed liaison, Jeremiah Carnes. We believe it is important for the BOE and the town council to work on our relationship. So moving forward, we're going to communicate on events that are going on and discussions that are going on from the board and from the council. So then he can then report his report back to the Board of Education. This is a big move because for the past 2 years, I don't believe we had an actual board liaison to the council when I was on the Board of Ed. So we're hoping we could work together and try to rebuild that relationship and get more conversation back and forth and try to mend the relationship if we can. And the next Board of Ed meeting, the COW meeting, Committee of Whole, is on 2/18, and the regular meeting is on 2/19. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving down the list. Business Administrator Report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everybody that Borough Hall hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4 p.m. All public windows will be open during these times. Hours were posted on the exterior of the building of Borough Hall, Recreation and Senior Center. As far as the budget process, we've had several preliminary budget meetings with department heads to review the first drafts of their initial budgets. During the next few weeks, we will complete that process and provide initial budgets to the governing body. That's Lenny Vidal, myself, and Caroline Benson. Part-time zoning and construction clerk, we're going to hire a part-time temporary zoning and construction clerk to fill in for an employee on medical leave. The part-time position will be for 25 hours a week. The job opportunities posted on the borough website, our message board, and was released on our social media. The new council member orientation meeting on January 13th, Lenny and I attended the new council member orientation meeting that Borough Clerk Kelsey Meixner put together for Councilwoman Clark Quinn. Both new council members were provided important information, keys, their laptops, phones, email addresses. The meeting went well and provided a great opportunity to issue equipment, review our protocols, share pertinent information. Kelsey did a really good job. She's very detailed, very professional. We're really lucky to have her. I was really impressed by the presentation. Snow removal and cleanup. We had a couple storms in January 10th, sort of related to the 17th and the weekend of the 25th, which had some significant obstacles for the borough. We say winter's the downtime for DPW, but it's not been so much downtime for our hardworking DPW personnel. The last week's storm, the Department of Public Works and the Police Department monitored the strong storm, which impacted our area Sunday morning through Monday. Our area experienced a significant snowfall. We estimate 12 to 15 inches of freezing rain and sleet and snow. During the storm, we had one resident injure themselves due to a fall, went to the hospital, a couple disabled vehicles. Patrols issued 74 summons, Councilman, over this past weekend. And it just shows our residents are complying with parking restrictions during snowstorms. If we compare summonses issued from the storm that happened a month earlier in December, where 208 summonses were issued. We're more compliant with the ordinance, which was necessary for a large-scale weather event like we had this past weekend. As a result of the storm, all municipal administrative offices were closed on Monday, January 26th. Everyone was back in today. I did have communications with Dr. Freeman about them closing the school Monday, and then they also did a delayed opening. It just gave our DPW a little more time to get crosswalks cleared up and some work that needed to be done. It's important. Back to the compliance. It's we put out education through social media, put it on our website, and through enforcement. It just shows that municipalities are following the ordinance. So much better at this point, which is typical. The first couple storms of the year, usually we have some issues, but they were smaller storms, thank God. But this last one, we needed people off the street just so we can get the roads cleared safely. I'd like to remind our residents that parking on snow-covered streets are prohibited. Please remove all motor vehicles from the roadway before snow accumulates. This assists our DPW with clearing roads. For emergency vehicles and the public, residents are also required to clear sidewalks of snow and ice within 12 hours of daylight after a snow accumulation. We're working with our attorney, Alex Fisher, and our planner, Paul Ritchie, to obtain affordable housing compliance certification by March 15th, 2026. The state of New Jersey has a strict mandatory compliance date. The state didn't give us a lot of time to get this completed. We have a very strict timeline, but we're coordinating our efforts through our attorney, and I'm confident we will have this accomplished by the March 15th deadline. Our PAR grant, Green Acres PAR grant, is being processed for upgrades to Victor Cole Park. The grant will award the borough with $79,000 of matching funds, and they'll start work as outlined in our master plan that we have for the park. And I kind of went forward on the snowstorm. Lenny, did you have anything? There was some obstacles. Did you want to report on the latest storm?
Every weekend has been nuts.
The next one's coming up.
But I'm sorry, I should have.
You're okay. No, I think we kind of touched base on everything, with council president and everything. I think we had a couple of equipment breakdown on us. The machine we use for sidewalks that's 20-something years old. I think that's about it with it. We're working on getting it up and running again. So, yeah, we had a couple trucks go down, and that's pretty much it. So you can leave off. You're at the bar, right?
Yeah. But I do appreciate all the help and assistance between DPW, the police department, and even the school, just to all work together to make sure the roads and sidewalks are safe for our community and our students. Park grant, did you have anything on that?
Yes, I do actually. Just to touch base on that part that the chief was speaking about. I did reach out to Suburban Engineering. We are done with them, but they still owe us a revised. You might remember, Shannon.
Yes.
They still owe us the revised master plan. They are aware because I needed some information for this car grant that we're lacking, and Tom Harris is looking to finalize all of that. But they should have the revised master plan by the end of the week. So just an FYI. Go ahead.
Councilman Doty commented on this, but on Friday, January 16th, Councilman Doty, Lenny, and I met with our court clerk, Marari Gaud, and our judge, Spiro Kalambakis, to discuss the backlog of cases that are created. This all basically started during COVID, and it's just been very difficult to catch up. And there's some, this is not our court. There's a lot of regulations that were put in place about collection of monies. So we're just trying to come up with a plan on how we move forward. So basically, as a result, the court scheduled additional dates to the 2026 calendar for the next 6 months to address the backlog and zoning issues. There's a tremendous amount of zoning.
She did mention along those lines, like the state actually does this court scheduling now. They don't even do it. Everything goes through the state, everything, which I was a little shocked at.
And they're determined to get the backlog cleared. I reported earlier that municipal administrative offices were closed on Monday, January 26th, but our municipal court still held their virtual court. I think that's worth being noted because they are trying to get it done. They didn't want to cancel it so they can get pushed further behind. So Want to welcome Police Officer Michelle Gladys to the Middlesex Police Department on January 9th. She graduated from the Cape County Police Academy. She reported for duty at the police department on January 12th. She's in her in-service training and she's assigned to the patrol division. She started that field training officer program. Councilman Doty also commented on Coffee with a Cop. Our police departments are hosting our annual Coffee with a Cop community policing event on Saturday, February 7th from 10 to 12 at Middlesex Elks. It's always a well-attended event. Police department welcomes all members of our community to come for coffee, breakfast, and conversation. On behalf of the police department, I want to thank the Elks for partnering with us. It provides an excellent breakfast and a great facility to engage with our community. The event's free to the public. And lastly, Lenny, I just wanted to congratulate all our employees who are recognized for their milestone years of employment with the borough in 2025. We honor our personnel that reached our milestone anniversaries of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 years of service today. It's not just time on a calendar, it's experience, it's institutional knowledge, it's a steady presence that keeps this municipality moving forward in our service. So we want to congratulate each of them for their milestones and thank them for everything they've done to continue to give to this municipality. That's important.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I need a motion to open the privilege of the floor.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone looking to speak up? Looks like you were chomping at the bit there, Mr. Madden.
Mark Crowley, 7 Park Place. Just a couple of quick comments. First, under the pool commission cap, I just wanted to thank Caroline, Greg, and everybody else that was at our meeting Wednesday for reviewing our finances, and just a really huge compliment, as I said earlier, for Caroline to explain our accounts. I've been on the commission for over 20 years, and we've been trying to get those accounts explained to us for over 20 years. And she was the one who finally was able to explain it, and everybody understood, which is phenomenal. We did raise our rates this year a bit, and we're looking for a nice, smooth, uncomplicated opening this year.
That would be nice, right?
Unlike last year. And Councilman DeSenza, it's interesting that you mentioned the cost of running your own pool. We're in the process of putting a document together that we're going to release to our entire email population on the cost of going to the beach, running your own pool, and joining the Middlesex pool, and how much less expensive it is and less troublesome it is to come to the Middlesex pool. And you are correct, the Middlesex pool is by far the least expensive pool anywhere, probably within 50 miles of us. Nobody close. We don't require a bond. All private pools require a bond, which can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, and that's before you pay for your annual membership. We don't require a bond. So we're going to do a really heavy push for membership this year, especially in Middlesex, the resident memberships.
Well, when you put your flyer together, make sure it's like a flyer ready and we can post it right on the website.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. Katie and I are working together to put together the document. And as Joe said, membership for residents opens March 1st. The discount is till April 15th. And then non-residents opens May 1st, and they get a discount till May 15th. So again, we're just looking forward for a nice, smooth year this year after what happened last year. Secondly, just from a resident point of view, I really felt it necessary to come tonight and compliment how the borough handled the storm. And you've heard it from a lot of people on the council, but just from a resident point of view, you guys did a great job from the Nixle notifications before and during the storm, from the job that Lenny and DPW did clearing the roads. I was out Monday morning in Denellen and Boundbrook. They were nothing compared to how well Middlesex was cleared. I mean, there were roads you couldn't even get through in Denellen. So again, I just felt it necessary to come and compliment everybody that was involved with how the storm was handled. I mean, you guys just did an awesome job.
Appreciate it.
So
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Tom Madden, 39 Ramsey Road.
First, I want to congratulate the two councilwomen. I gotta tell you, it's a wonderful addition to our governing body. It will be a valuable resource. The first year of council, as you may be finding out, is the most difficult. But the good thing about our governing body, you have two very experienced people you can always lean on, and I suggest you do that. The council president and the mayor, worlds of experience. Because for some governing bodies, they don't have the experience to with new council people. The other thing is that even municipalities have some wonderful courses, so I urge you to consider that. All right, Monday, January 12th, what's a lot of time?
You're doing good, John, so far.
Monday, January 12th, we had a rework meeting at the Water Resource Association for the county, environmental. The only two items of new business were about Middlesex Borough, which is rare for a rework meeting. So it was very important. The Office of Planning reviewed our two documents for review which had been done within 60 days of the submission. One was the revised ordinance number 2136-24, which is a stormwater control ordinance, and our revised municipal stormwater management plan through JLO. Both were accepted and adopted, and they do comply to DEP regulations. Now, although we were probably the last borough, I think, in the county to go ahead with this, it's important to be proactive, and especially this next step. Currently, the WRA is working on developing a regional stormwater management plan, and it has to be consistent with DEP regulations. And this is regarding waterways and drainage areas. So we have to take part in that. So the sooner we can do that, the better off we will be. This is the packet, by the way, for the reorg. I have to thank Collier's Engineering for all these graphs and charts for us. Even though also it's way over my head. But thank you anyway.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Garbage.
For qualified communities, anything that taxpayers pay, they get a reimbursement. It's statutory. It's light, street lights, garbage, and snow. She retired from here.
So that's how it works. Where you
I think you've asked this before, Dave. I think you noticed this like a year.
They were here last year for that question.
Every year.
Retired from here after long government service. We pay her.
You bet.
Oh, yeah.
That was the hot potato.
That's the gift that keeps giving.
one final question about the class 3 because since the earlier discussion, I'm reading through the details. So you sent an email on January 12th before it's
Got it.
and in this email you say that you have updated everything. If there are further issues or inquiries here, the borough requests that they be discussed expeditiously. It is the intention to place this agreement on the borough council January 27th, 2026 in January. We are happy to discuss the everything else. So basically, I'm just making sure I have this correct.
Sure.
So on January 12th, you send this email to their attorney. You don't hear anything back. And on January 21st, after that meeting, the superintendent goes public, saying that there are all various issues that, from your guys' perspective, there are not, that they need to resolve. And
can understand my personal frustration here, and I believe the frustration of the administrator, the mayor, and everybody. Yeah, you cannot be, it's plain.
Absolutely. I have the time, it's like 9 days after this email, you hear nothing back, but then she goes public, and from what you guys are saying, somewhat mischaracterized the situation.
You can see why the level of detail I gave tonight was necessary.
Yes. Okay, I just want to make sure I was clear on that.
I mean, it's black and white. You can see it. That's why I gave it to you, because I wanted you not to take my word for it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, we sign it and we get a check and it's done. And we can finally push this one along. Okay. All right. Motion to close the public session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. Okay. Take a deep breath, Kelsey. Let it rip.
Resolution 44, 2026, acknowledging the change in status for certain properties under the senior citizen disabled person tax deductions. Resolution 45, 2026, authorizing the Sustainable Jersey Grant application. Resolution 46, 2026, acceptance of standing reports. Resolution 47, 2026, authorizing the tax collector to cancel first and second quarter 2026 taxes for Block 239, Lot 35, and issue a refund for proration of fourth quarter 2025 taxes. Resolution 48, 2026, authorizing the tax collector to cancel the first and second quarter 2026 taxes for Block 133, Lot 10. Resolution 49, 2026, authorizing the superintendent of public works to submit the recycling enhancement grant application to the Middlesex County Division of Solid Waste Management. Resolution 50, 2026, approving the reimbursement of $375 to Farmers Market on 28 for a Board of Health license paid in error. Resolution 51, 2026, authorizing execution of a settlement agreement with New Jersey American Water. Resolution 52, 2026, authorizing the mayor to execute the memorandum of understanding with Middlesex County for specialized equipment. Resolution 53, 2026, authorizing the entering into a contract with Rehabco, Inc. as the borough's administrative agent for the administration of affordable housing units pursuant to the Fair Housing Act. Resolution 54, 2026, authorizing the transfer of funds for the 2025 operating budget. Resolution 55, 2026, authorizing the submission of a grant submission to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs 2026 Local Recreation Improvement Grant Program. Resolution 56, 2026, authorizing the execution of an agreement between the Borough of Middlesex and the Middlesex Borough School Board for Class 3 Police Services pursuant to NJSA 40A:65-1 and NJSA 40A:14:146.8. Resolution 57, 2026, canceling off property taxes for Block 237, Lot 14. Resolution 58, 2026, accepting and adopting the Central Jersey Joint Insurance Fund's 2026 Safety Incentive Program. Resolution 59, 2026, amending Resolution 21, 2026, approval of official newspapers for 2026.
Okay, before we go forward, does anyone want to pull any of these? You're okay? Okay, anyone else? No?
Good.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve these?
Motion, Mayor.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Call the roll.
Council President Conahan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman DeSenza.
Yes.
Councilman Doty.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, non-consent agenda resolution.
Resolution 60, 2026, pay all claims.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All right, any discussion, questions? I didn't think there would be. Call the roll, please.
Council President Conahan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman DeSenza.
Yes.
Councilman Doty.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Okay. We don't have a workshop item tonight, so we don't need a privilege of the floor on that. We do have an executive session tonight. Don't believe there's I didn't think so. No, I didn't think so. I just want to make sure. Okay, so there will be no action taken. Our next regular meeting will be February 10th, 2026. Can I have a motion? You have to read the resolution.
Resolution
Oh,
61,
okay.
2026, executive session.
Got to have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Second.
All right, call the roll.
Council President Conahan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman DeSenza.
Yes.
Councilman Doty.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Okay. Couple minutes to clear the room, guys. No action will be taken. We look forward to seeing you at our next meeting on February